Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to our podcast. I am Dominique,
And I'm Jen.
and this is Look Up.
Dummy fuck.
Yeah, this podcast, this one. Oh my God, guys.
Well, I think we have to. I did have a call out. Okay. So I talked to a guy this week from Georgia, the country.
Yes.
And he said to me that he thought it was super interesting that we wanted to be a podcast for all people on the right and the left.
Mm-hmm.
And I am taking criticism. So I do think 2 weeks into this administration, we can safely say we can't get on board with any of this shit, right?
No, we can't.
None of this makes sense. I think he's been more than a dictator on just day one, okay? Because it's continuing on. We're 2 weeks in.
Yeah.
The dictator is still happening.
Yeah. Well, it's still the beginning, and it's very scary.
Okay,
right?
Executive orders are one thing, but to sign this many executive orders of things that are actual laws and just overturn laws, you're a fucking dictator, no?
Well, of that magnitude, I mean, it's like it's incredible. I mean, and what we want to talk to you about today actually is something that is actually affecting us absolutely directly. And we want to talk about the cancellation for 90 days, but maybe for more, we'll see. But at least for now, for 90 days, for all the U.S. Development aid outside of the country, right?
USAID, yeah. I mean, for those of you that don't know, because until I started consulting with the agency back in 2021, I didn't know much about it either. So USAID stands for the United States Agency for International Development. I mean, I think it's been around since the 60s, correct?
Yes, it has been created by President Kennedy, actually, in the 60s. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so created for that reason, created to help underdeveloped countries.
Exactly.
Created to help them grow their independent businesses, correct?
Well, I mean, USAID is mainly pursuing three focuses. The first one is traditional humanitarian aid. So when there's a big humanitarian crisis in a country, a famine, health problem.
So like food, medicine.
So all that.
Okay.
The second part is government capacity and social and civil society development. And so it's here to support the development of good governance, good governments, and civil societies all over the world. And the third thing is health. And actually, for example, there's about 50 million people who have AIDS in Africa. And, well, guess who help them, support them, help them bring medication, treat them? Mostly the U.S. Government.
I mean, if I'm not wrong, we give about 42% of the world's aid.
Yes, so that's correct.
It isn't 100%. So don't think like the U.S. is the only country helping other countries. And then maybe we got to talk a little bit about why we do this.
Yes, we will. We will. I mean, look, Kennedy was definitely not the last one to understand foreign policy, and he understood a very interesting concept, which was soft power. What makes a country a great country in the world? Well, it's not only because it has an army, but it's also because it can provide help and support, and doing so, promoting its idea, its vision of the society, and what a functioning country should be. And that has always been a big tool for the US of what we now call soft power. A lot of countries in the world are using that. The last one who understood how to use it is actually China. And we see how much China and Russia actually are using that soft power tool in Africa today. And well, we'll see how it goes. So yeah, I mean, that's canceling this, canceling all of it, and maybe we can just say how much money that is. It's more than $64 billion of aid that has been canceled,
which is less than 1%
yes,
of the U.S. budget.
Right.
So don't think that this is some ginormous amount of money. I mean, even though it sounds like a ginormous amount of money, it is less than 1%. But it provides aid to these countries that, I mean, they're not getting the food now. They're not getting the medicine. And with, absolutely zero heads up either. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's one thing if you're going to tell someone, hey, I'm going to have to stop helping you. But, I mean, maybe you should give them a little warning.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I mean, this is extremely aggressive. I do think people in countries are going to suffer. For those of you who, even cared about aid into Gaza or something. It's all foreign aid is.
It's devastating, and
Yeah.
and maybe to add a little bit of the on the numbers you mentioned, Jen. So it's less than 1% of the federal budget is 0.2% of the GDP of the U.S. Like it's 0.2% of the GDP of the U.S. It's a drop in the bucket. And canceling this not only is going to immensely affect those countries. A lot are in Africa, actually. 6 of the 10 most countries that gain the most from USAID are African countries. Those countries are just going to split into enormous health problem and enormous food problems. And actually, we started already seeing this week. All this organization is like completely falling apart. So, and to give a little bit of perspective, I mean, the US is the first country and the one who's contributing the most. In percentage of the GDP, actually, the Northern European country are contributing the most. Sweden being the one that contributes the most, with more than 1% of its GDP going to aid and to development aid. So, guys,
it's shocking.
It's a disaster.
And I just don't, I don't understand. I mean, I'm trying to understand what his method to his madness is, which I'm in my opinion, I'm guessing that like he wants to stop all foreign aid, so that again he can threaten countries the way that he threatened Colombia to take back their immigrants, or whatever else it is that he's going to want from these 150 to 200 countries. He'll be able to threaten them with this AID money, I'm guessing. No?
Right. No, sure. I mean, it's once again, I don't think that guy understand anything that has the term soft in it. So soft power, no, for Donald Trump is either it's hard or it doesn't exist. And I mean, it's like the America first thing again.
But
and the thing is,
even crazier than America first, how are we going to have any friends or allies after this?
Oh, that's it. That's it.
And so, like, when you have no friends and you have no allies and you have America first agenda, what is the ramification of this?
For me, and once again, and I think this is what's the hardest for me, but we will talk about something that is even harder, I think. But it's like, I see America shrinking.
Yes. Yeah.
Day after day, I see America shrinking in the world. And I guess America first means America small, America ridiculous, America alone.
Certainly not the leader in the world.
No.
Very soon, I'm sure.
So, but guys, there is a reason why we are, USAID is so dear to our heart, because it's actually an organization we know extremely well. I mean, especially you know extremely well. Guess what country is the first beneficiary of the help of USAID.
Well, and of course, when I started working with USAID was in Ukraine. I mean, I never thought working in fashion that I would have an opportunity to work with the United States Agency of International Development and actually help small and medium-sized businesses export to foreign markets and grow in foreign markets and sustain their people even more so. So a lot of people asked me when I started working as a consultant, they were like, okay, I don't get it. How does it work? And I'm like, well, here's what we're as the US going to give X amount of money to a country. If we take some of that money and we help them grow their small and medium-sized businesses, then guess what? Maybe the following year, we don't have to support the country as much because they've started to grow their small and medium-sized businesses and create jobs. And so it's been this, for me, incredible thing I've been doing. And to see this just end is shocking.
So out of the 64 billion of aid, actually Ukraine is getting a little bit more than 9 billion. So it's the very first beneficiary of the US aid development, and everything is frozen. That's it. So they deliver and they support NGO who are delivering food, especially on the front line. That has stopped. They're delivering medication. That has stopped. They're helping the veterans. That has stopped. They're helping small business to develop. That has stopped. They're helping the Ukrainian government in very interesting programs. They're working, for example, with the Ministry of Digital Transformation of Ukraine to develop their amazing online program to support and help actually all the people who need to connect with the government, air alert, all those things that will stop. They're funding the only system in the world that can alert everybody on food needs on the ground everywhere in the planet. That has been canceled and stopped this week, which means no NGO in the world can know what's going on the ground on who needs food where.
And on top of it, the website is down.
Yeah.
So if you go to usaid.gov, there is no website. I mean, I'm even hearing, even on television, that they're saying that he's thinking of dismantling the entire agency.
Yeah.
Which is catastrophic for the world. I don't even, there's no words.
Yeah, there's no words. Plus, I mean, who's going to do it now? Like, what's going to happen now? Okay, Europe is already heavily contributing. Actually, Germany is the second country with providing aid and development aid in the world with more than 35 billion. Then you have Japan, you have the UK, you have France.
There's Swiss aid, there's UK aid.
Exactly.
The European Union for sure, which is just like you said, going to make those countries begin to grow larger.
But who's going to pick up the bill now? Who is going to help?
Well, and then we actually have some inside information because we still have friends that work with USAID. I have been talking to some of them, and I have some shocking news for you, Dominique, that you don't even know yet. So the other thing that you guys need to understand is the corruption is not happening with this AID money.
Right.
The money is actually given to a third-party agency. So it's not given just from like the US to Ukraine, right? There's an agency that is what I call, for lack of a better word, the middleman.
Right.
They're the ones who take the money, decide and disperse the money, and then report and do all the reporting back to USAID so they know how the money was spent and that it was spent properly and whatnot. So what I am hearing is these middlemen companies are starting to get stop work order forms. So they are to stop all their work. They are sending almost all of their staff home.
Yep.
But guess what? These middleman agencies still have to pay their employees. So it seems our friends at Doge are trying to bankrupt these companies at the same time that they're doing this.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
So the entire system
is going to
collapse. And I bet you that most of those companies don't have the cash flow to keep business open for 90 days. And once again, this program has been suspended for 90 days, but I bet you that in 90 days, half of them are going to be dead.
If not more.
If not more. So basically, stopping this for 90 days, and come on, it's not true that you have time to review $60 billion of programs in 90 days.
Well, and do you think that maybe, okay, how about this? Do you think that maybe you could like stop eating for 90 days?
Right, why not?
Do you think that could work for you?
Well, I guess some people will have to because of this.
I mean, it's just, right? It's absolutely insane and shocking to me. I mean, actually, our Musk, I don't know what we call him. Should we just call him Musk?
Yeah, the Musk.
So he tweeted about this, because I can't even say X. It's ridiculous. Mm-hmm. He tweeted about X. Let me just get this exactly right. So he tweeted and said, okay, you ready for this one?
Yeah.
It said, live by executive order, die by executive order. So clearly, yes, Musk, you are going to have blood on your hands because people will die with the decisions that you and President Trump are making right now.
Oh yeah, I mean, just watch what's going to happen in Africa. I mean, I think it's going to be once again, it's not just about Ukraine. Things are going to get terrible in Ukraine, but things are going to be extremely bad in Africa. And once again, guess who is going to benefit from this? The Chinese and potentially the Russian, because they are the one who are going to take over. They are the one who are starting to understand the soft power way of doing foreign policies, and they will take over. Is this what Trump wants? Actually, who is really working for that guy? Is he really working for Americans, or is he in fact working for Chinese and Russian so they can take over the world while we completely abandon it? What do we think about this, right?
I mean, it's hard to understand what his end game is, because I feel like I'm not sure if he knows how to play chess, because I think he would be the worst chess player.
Yeah.
Because in my opinion, he would like never think 3 steps ahead.
Yeah. And trust me, Putin knows how to play chess, and Xi Jinping knows how to play Go, which is even harder than chess.
Okay.
Right? So,
oh my God, it's just shocking.
Yeah, it's shocking. So, yeah, I mean, every day something new, Jen, right? It's, I don't know.
I mean, I really thought I was ready for what he was going to do in terms of immigration.
Right.
And,
LGBT rights.
All the things that he said that he was going to do. But to watch all of these executive orders happen day after day after day, and to watch his new press secretary, this little 27-year-old chick, I mean, I don't know her name or whatever, but I thought I hated like that Kayleigh McEnany chick.
Oh, yes.
But like this girl, I mean, the stuff that is coming out of her mouth, and I don't even think she has any type of college degree in PR.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Yeah. But the things that are coming out of her mouth are just downright racist.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Just racist. Absolutely. It's crazy.
So 2 weeks into this administration, we are dumbfounded and shocked
And sad, to be honest, extremely sad because once again, we saw hands first the importance of USAID in Ukraine. We saw it before the war. It was incredible, the work done by the team, by our friends, the impact they have. And once again, it's not only on food, health, but it's also on developing civil society, developing democracy. In Ukraine, it has been clear they've been working with the Ukrainian government for years to develop those programs to make this country more open, more democratic, and so this is not just about putting America first. It's also putting freedom first. It's also putting democracy first. It's also helping develop a free world. And this is just what is stopping. And once again, China is going to take over. And do we think they have the same ideas as we do? I am not completely sure.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yes.
Okay, so we have to like spin it at least to a positive.
Okay.
I mean, as you know, I'm already working to try and acquire some AID money for the Ukrainian fashion designers from maybe the European Union, maybe some other agencies, which is exciting. So we're not here to be Debbie Downers and just want. We're here to like fight and move on. And that's what I think we've got to do is I think we need to start partnering with other agencies and other countries. I mean, thankfully, we're both European citizens, which is super exciting. But it is really extremely sad to see what is happening in the US.
I think it's important what you're saying, Jen, because as you guys know, we decided to move to Europe. We decided to move to Barcelona, to Spain, because we felt it was more aligned with our deep values. Jen is trying to get money from the European Union. I'm actually working on a project with the European Union and the French Agency for Development. And France spends 15 billion a year in foreign aid. It's quite a lot of money. And guys, maybe it's really time to consider moving to Europe if you can, because this is where the free world is.
I mean, I don't think that everyone is that lucky, Dominique. I have to say,
I agree.
You know, we are super lucky that we have EU passports. I know a lot of my friends are working on nomad visas right now. Some of them, you know, have bought apartments here.
But look, I mean, I'm starting to receive message. So Lucas, my son, goes to an American school here, and we have a chat for the parents. And I'm starting to receive message from parents who are from the US who moved here, who say, well, my friends in the US are thinking of relocating because they have transgender in their family and they don't know what to do. And so, I mean, I do believe that actually bad things are really starting to happen, and I'm actually extremely worried.
In like a super short period of time.
Yeah,
I mean, this is shocking. I mean, for all of the people out there that I know that voted for this criminal, I mean, there's blood on your hands as well, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't really disagree, unfortunately. Yeah.
So we are here to tell you to look up
Dummie Fuck.
You can, of course, catch us on Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts.
Yep.
We do not know what our next episode will be in 2 weeks because we've decided just to keep up with current events. I mean, this USAID episode, I think, was pretty easy for us because it is so near and dear to our hearts. But I'm sure we will be talking about women's rights, gay rights, for sure.
Of course, immigration.
Your friend said religion, I think.
Yes,
or something.
We want to talk about religion because I think there's definitely something deep happening regarding that.
Yeah. So if you guys have ideas, please leave us comments. Let us know.
And we also want to tell our friends who are working from USAID anywhere in the world, in Ukraine, in Georgia, we love you guys, and we will do whatever it takes to support you.
And that will, of course, since we have a charity for every episode, it will be to help an underdeveloped country stay afloat during this madness.
Right, absolutely.
So hang in there, our friends from USAID. We love you.
We love you.
And for all the rest of you, look up.
Dummy fuck.